So the Atlanta Hawks beat the Cleveland Cavaliers 107-101. It was a great game overall from each side, but the Cavs, they ran out of gas and the Hawks came back easily. With Trae Young being a huge factor in this team coming back. It was a great game overall from Trae Young, and he definitely was the best player on the court. And we're going to go over the box score, talking about each player, talking about the Hawks, because they are going to be versing the number 1 seeded Miami Heat in the first round. So we're going to talk about that matchup and moving forward if the Hawks can be able to make it far in the playoffs. So what's up? My name is JDC. If you like the video, drop a like below, subscribe to the channel. I'd appreciate it, and let's get into the video. So, man, I don't know where to start this. I mean, we can start talking about the Hawks first. We can start talking about their box score. So Trae Young, 38 points, 9 assists, and 3 rebounds with 1 block on 13 of 25 from the field and 4 of 11 from 3. Man, that's a great stat line, first of all. 38 points in a game where they basically needed him to step up. Trae Young, I mean, he definitely lives for this moment. He feeds off of the crowd's energy, first of all. Being in a, obviously, away court, he feeds off of the energy. And it's so apparent that he plays in such a new environment. I mean, looking at it right now, I mean, last season against the Knicks in the playoffs, he played absolutely well in that playoffs. So he's I wouldn't say he's not new to this new environment. He feeds off their energy, and as of today, he beat the Cavs basically by himself. I mean, looking at his supporting pieces, I mean, Bogdanovic played well, but everyone else kind of played subpar today. So let's get into the other guys right here. Let's get into Danilo Galinari first, because he actually played pretty well today. 14 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist, 1 block on 4 of 13 from the field, and 2 of 6 from 3. You can see it's a huge trend that the Hawks didn't really shoot the ball all too well. I mean, Gallo, 4 of 13 from the field, 2 of 6 from 3. Nothing too great there, but he did have some clutch buckets in the fourth quarter. So great game from Gallo. DeAndre Hunter, 10 points and 5 rebounds. Hunter, he is finally starting to find his rhythm, coming back from injury from last season. DeAndre Hunter, he's been playing absolutely well. 5 of 14 from the field and 0 of 5 from 3. The Hawks this game as a collective shot 9 of 31 from the 3, so it's a huge dip in 3-point shooting. But looking at the other guys, Kevin Huerter, 13 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds, and 1 steal. 6 of 11 from the field and 1 of 3 from 3. And finally, Clint Capella with 7 points and 8 rebounds. That's something I also want to talk about, is that Clint Capella, he went down with an injury. I think it was in the first half. Mobley was going up for a shot, and then Capella tried fouling him midway in the air. Tried pulling him down with him, and then Mobley fell on his knee, and then I want to say he kind of hyperextended it, fell down, and kind of limped back to the locker room. So losing Clint Capella this game was a huge blow, but at least they did still win without him. So hopefully Capella's ready for the Miami matchup, because they're really going to need him, with Bam Adebayo being that type of player, being a freak of nature on the defensive end, but also being pretty great on offense too. So looking at the bench, there's no one to really talk about. I mean, Bogdanovic with 19 points, 5 rebounds, 3 steals, and 2 assists. So pretty great game from Bogdan. And DeLon Wright, actually, he didn't have a pretty great stat line, 2 points and 6 rebounds with 1 assist. But I do want to credit him for his defense. And the sole reason the Hawks defense was great today was because DeLon Wright, he was doing a lot of defensive things on the court today. It was the defensive anchor off the bench too. So great game from the Hawks. Just kind of going into some other notes here. I mean, they played decently well today. Defensively, it definitely picked up in the fourth. In the first quarter and the second quarter, they could not guard Darius Garland and Jarrett Allen, and even Evan Mobley at that. I mean, that's how great they were playing in the first quarter, the Cavs. But, the Hawks, they started picking up the defense in the fourth, and they ultimately came out to win. So looking at the Cavs side of things, I mean, there's a lot of things to talk about here, and a lot of things went wrong. So we'll go over the box score really quickly here. There's a lot to talk about for the box scores. So Darius Garland, 21 points, 9 assists, and 3 rebounds with 3 steals on 9 of 27 from the field and 1 of 7 from 3. Darius Garland in the first and second quarter was actually pretty great. But then in the second half, he played pretty horribly, and 9 of 27 from the field just reflects that, 1 of 7 from 3. He could not hit his threes today, and even though the Cavs shot better from the 3 compared to the Hawks, man, it was a huge upset from the Cavs, man. They absolutely got crushed in the fourth quarter. So looking at the other guys, Jarrett Allen coming back from surgery, I want to say, 11 points and 3 rebounds with 2 assists on basically 4-4 from the field, 36 minutes. Man, Jarrett Allen, I think he was kind of a difference maker in today's game. brought them that defensive presence in the post, but also running the pick and roll with Darius Garland. But it wasn't really enough to really warrant them winning. So hopefully Jarrett Allen and Darius Garland come back stronger next season. I think they're one of the more underrated duos in the league. So looking at the other guys, Lauri Markkanen played pretty well today. 26 points and 8 rebounds with 2 steals and a block on 10 of 17 from the field and 6 of 12 from 3. Markkanen, he definitely has been a pretty interesting player for this Cavs team, running the small forward position, obviously, / the power forward position. But he's been pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. He's been pretty cool for this Cavs team that really needed a small forward because Okoro, as good as he is, I mean, he's still pretty subpar. So he came off the bench today, first of all. But honestly, Lauri Markkanen, he could be here for the future. So looking at the other guys, Evan Moby, 18 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 blocks. Man, Moby today, he played absolutely well today. I didn't really expect this type of game from Evan Moby, but in his rookie year, he has been able to contribute to this team that could possibly go to the playoffs next season if they really just keep this whole core. Now, obviously, there's going to be some guys leaving. I think Rondo is on like a 1-year contract, and I want to say they might even deal Kevin Love in the offseason because he's been pretty great for them, but with this value being pretty high right now, they could honestly capitalize on it. So Caris LeVert with 16 points, 5 assists, and 3 rebounds, 1 steal on 5 of 13 from the field and 4 of 9 from 3. LeVert, he actually did play pretty decently today, but last game against the Nets, he was absolutely selling. It was just a horrible game from Caris LeVert. Definitely a good comeback game today, 16 on 5 of 13 from the field, but definitely has to do better in crunch time. There was a lot of plays today where the Cavs just could not get anything done on offense. And they had a lot of 24-second shot clock violations because that's how great the Hawks defense was down in the fourth. And they couldn't really do anything with that type of defense. So hopefully I can see the Cavs, or hopefully we can see the Cavs do something better next season. They did trade their 2022 first-round pick to the Pacers with Ricky Rubio to get Caris LeVert. So hopefully that doesn't affect them in the future, and hopefully that doesn't really affect what they're trying to do, because the Cavs, I think they're ready to compete right now with their pieces. And with Evan Mobley showing that he can really play as a rookie, I think they're really ready. They just got to get some better bench depth. And overall, I think they should get a good point guard off the bench, because Ricky Rubio, he was supposed to be that, but with an injury. Rajon Rondo was supposed to be that type of guy, but he's not really doing anything for them off the bench. So hopefully the Hawks can beat the Heat in the playoffs. I mean, that's going to be a pretty close series. Tyler Hero, Kyle Lowry, Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler, all those guys. PJ Tucker, hopefully he comes back, versus Trae Young, Bogdan. Hopefully Clint Capella comes back healthy and strong, and hopefully we have a good series right there. So that's the video. I'm GDC, and I'm out. Peace.